Hi best friends, Santa Claus is coming to town. Not the real Santa, just me, your girl Brooke. I am on my way to a town to deliver family number one's Christmas presents. You can see them in the back. There are over 50 presents that I wrapped last night and I'm delivering them today. I'm so excited. And if 50 seems like a lot, it seems like a big number, but it's a family of 5 kids. So it's really not like, it's 10 presents a kid, just about. And so it's not like as crazy as it sounds. Yeah, because CJ even came down the stairs today and he saw all the presents all wrapped up and he was like, this is all for one family. And I was like, yeah, but it's 5 kids, so it's okay. But I am on my way to drop everything off right now. I'm so excited. Number 1, to get everything out of my garage. Number 2, to have the weight off my shoulders of like this impending thing that I have to do. Not that it's a bad thing to have to go drop these off, but just like it's been weighing on my head like, okay, Christmas is coming up. I'm sure they're getting anxious. They probably want to get these presents, you know? And so now I can kind of breathe a sigh of relief about that. But I am on my way and I'm feeling great. Oddly worried that I have colon cancer, but I have been for weeks. I don't know why. I haven't even looked it up or looked up any of the symptoms or anything, but I'm just like, huh. My butthole feels weird. That was an odd transition. But anyway, just had to get that out just in case I do happen to have it and then like find out about it and then you guys are like, whoa, you called that, that's crazy. But anyway, yeah, I don't know why. I've just been really worried about my health lately. I think it's because life is going well and I'm like happy-ish, you know, as happy as I can be. And I just love my daughter so much that I'm just like terrified of losing that and dying. So just a little worry, a little hot girl worry that I have. But anyway, I'm so excited to drop off these presents. And I just wanted to come on and talk to you guys. I asked you on my community tab what you wanted me to talk about while I was on this drive. And I've actually been sending voice notes back and forth to my friend Danielle. And so I have not actually recorded anything yet. And I'm only 17 minutes away, which is pretty sick. I'm 17 minutes away. It's an hour and a half from my house, so I've been driving for a while. But I've just been sending the voice notes back and forth. I talked to CJ for a little bit, you know the deal. And yeah, just trying to stay awake. I'm trying to stay awake. What else? What else? Dropping off the presents. There was more I was gonna say. Oh yeah, but I asked you guys on my community tab and you mentioned a few really good ideas that I think I could totally implement into our conversation today. One of them was to chat about Christmas and Christmas memories and things like that. And I'm so happy to talk about that, especially given the fact that it's almost Christmas and the season is here to talk about and reflect on memories and things. And I guess I should preface by saying I was gonna say an only child. My siblings were a lot older than me. So I was the baby of the family. And a lot of the times my siblings didn't even live with me because they were so much older than me, right? And for other various reasons. So I was very spoiled at Christmas time. Very spoiled. My parents were wealthy and they had money, and my family was wealthy. So like my grandparents, my uncle, my parents, and I got very spoiled by all of them. I used to have like mountains of presents to open, and I remember just being so happy and excited about that, and like seeing all the presents with my name on it and just being so excited and spoiled rotten, which is fun, you know? That's the one fun part about being the baby, is that you're spoiled to death. So I remember opening presents and sitting in front of the tree and just being so happy. And I got to a certain age where I was probably like 7 or 8, and I started asking for like DVDs. And you know what I would do? Here's how spoiled I was, still am. I would make a Christmas list and I would color code it. So it would be like a whole Christmas list of things that I wanted, and in red it would be like things I absolutely need, and then in green it would be like things I really, really want but I don't need, and then it would be like yellow, things that I kind of want but it's not a necessity, and then it would be like blue and it would say something along the lines of you know, like things that are really expensive, so I understand if I don't get them, but I do really want them. Like, just, I would color code the whole thing in order from like what I want the most to what I want the least, and like all of those different categories, which is so funny to me looking back. I would still do that to this day if it were acceptable, but I'm not gonna do that unless somebody asks me to, in which case I'm totally down. I loved getting lots of presents. I was definitely a quantity over quality girl for many, many years. I just wanted to open more stuff. I didn't really care if it was nicer or more expensive. I just wanted more to open. So I was definitely a quantity girl. I wanted all the things instead of just like a couple really big things from my wish list. I would rather have like a bunch of the small things. And yeah, Christmas was very present oriented for me. I liked spending time with my family too and eating good food. We're a very meat and potatoes family, and I loved meat growing up, so that was always fun and exciting to have like really good yummy food and like fancy meats and things. And yeah, Christmas was always just a really happy time of year for me. It was my magic time of the year. And then Santa, of course, huge core memory was like all of the Santa stuff, and with Santa coming and leaving me notes. And I remember one year I left reindeer food out on the deck, one of our decks, and it was all gone. It was crazy, and there were like little prodding, prancing paw prints from each little hoof out there, and that was just so cool. So yeah, I felt really lucky at Christmas time. It was such a good time, and my family usually got along at Christmas and everybody was happy. And then once I started being able to give gifts, I really enjoyed that too. I remember the first year that I've told you about with the shopping event that I took Rosie to. I went to one of those at my school, and I got gifts for my family for the first time, and I remember just feeling so amazing doing that and being able to really give like a real gift instead of just like a paper plate that I colored on and wrapped up, you know, like giving people real gifts. And that really mattered to me, and that was really important. And I've always loved gift giving and gift receiving just as much, which is why I do this. Like, I love the idea of being able to give gifts to others who, need it or want it this Christmas and aren't able to have it. Because obviously gifts aren't everything, even though that's all I've talked about this entire video so far. Gifts are not everything, but they sure are magical when you're a kid, you know? To sit there and have a pile of gifts to open and to just feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so loved, I'm so lucky. And it breaks my heart that some kids don't have that chance, you know? Because we're only kids once, and then we're adults and all we get are gift cards and checks. And that's great too, but it's just not the same, you know? And I tell people this all the time, like, when people ask me why I adopted a family or 2 or 3 or however many the case is, why I adopt a family for Christmas, when it's like I'm either struggling financially as well, or, you know, I don't have millions of dollars to spare, thousands of dollars to spare. I just have what I have, and I give as much as I can. And the reason I do that is because I picture 20 years from now, these kids all getting together at, you know, some kind of family event and being like, do you guys remember that one Christmas? It must have been, what, 2001, 2002? And mom and dad were so happy, and they weren't arguing, and they were just so chill. and they weren't stressed about money, they weren't fighting, and we had all those presents, and we don't even, like, how did our parents even get those presents, you know? Like, how did they make that happen? Because we were really struggling at that time, looking back on it, but somehow they made Christmas so magical that year. And just like hearing that conversation in my head and like picturing it happen in real life and knowing that I played a part in that is just so special and magical to me. And it makes me feel like Santa Claus. Of course, nobody could ever be Santa Claus, but except Santa, but it makes me feel like I am a little bit, bringing that Christmas joy to people. So that's why I do it. And I adopted the second family this year. I'm really excited for all of their gifts to arrive. A lot of them have. I'm still waiting on a couple here and there, and then I did order from Temu for a bunch of the like clothing items and such, and those will be here around the 21st, so it'll be cutting it close, but that's okay. And right now, as I knew would happen, because I'm dropping off all these presents, I'm like feeling the ache to adopt another family, but I'm not going to do it. I'm sticking with 2 this year, and 2 is going to be enough for me, unless I happen to be browsing on the Facebook page and find, you know, a family with 1 teenager or something, or 1 child. Then I might do that, because there are still hundreds of families that have applied to be adopted that haven't been. Another question you guys asked me was, how do I do it? I am part of a couple of Facebook groups that are like, they have different names, but essentially it's basically just like Adopt a Family for Christmas Minnesota is kind of like the vibe. And so what I would say is, if you're trying to do the same thing, maybe look up ways to adopt a family for Christmas in Tennessee, in Texas, in California, wherever you are. And look on Facebook too, Adopt a Family for Christmas Texas, or wherever you're located, and see what comes up. See what comes up. You never know what you'll find, but I'm sure that every state has groups like that, and they're all probably run a little bit differently, so they might be completely anonymous. You might be able to, like, because one of the groups that I used to do was completely anonymous. You never connected with them through Facebook, only through email or their phone number. And you never like saw pictures of the kids or anything like that. With this new Facebook group that I'm a part of, that I adopted this family through, I literally talked to her like on her personal Facebook page. So I've seen pictures of the kids, I've seen pictures of her, I know their name, all of that. And there are different organizations too where like you never have contact with the family, where it's like through an organization or a business or something, and you never actually communicate directly with the family. But I wouldn't like that. I like to have a direct line of communication to the family, and like be able to drop off the presents myself to the family. That's just what I prefer. But I highly suggest you do it. If it's too late this year, try next year if you can. I save up money for it every year, and then I spend the money on other things, and then I make money fall from the sky, fall out of my pants, and I make it work. But that's how I do it. I started doing it, I think I did it for the first time in 2014. That was the first time that I ever adopted a family. I was 19 years old, and it was a mom and 3 kids. And the dad had left them like the month before Christmas or 2 months before Christmas. And he said, you guys are kicked out, you're out of the house. I have a new girlfriend. He left with like either his nanny or his secretary or something like that. And he left his family behind and started a new family basically. And so they were having a really tough year. She had been a stay-at-home mom for like 15 years. And she was like, I have no work experience, so I can't get a good job. I have a job, but it's not a good one. And we're living, all 3 of us, in like a 2-bedroom apartment. And it was like 3 teenagers, you know, or preteens, and the mom. And so they were having just the roughest time. And so I adopted them for Christmas in 2014. And we actually met up for coffee, and the kids were old enough that the mom was like, I'm gonna tell them that you are blessing us with Christmas this year, that it would not have happened if not for you, and I want them to open the presents in front of you. So we met at a coffee shop. She bought me a coffee and we sat at the tables and the kids opened all of their presents in front of me, and it was just the most amazing experience. Amazing experience. I've never felt so, I don't even know the word. There's no word for it. It's just, it was amazing. It was incredible. And I wanted to do it every year since then. I think I might have done it again in 2015, but then 2016 was a really rough year financially. 2017 was a really rough year. 2018 was a really rough year. 2019 was a really rough year. I think I didn't do it again until 2020. And then I did it again 2021, 2022. Is that right? Or did I not do it in 2020 either? I don't know. I think I've made it happen the last 3 years. I'm pretty sure, but I could be wrong. I'll have to go back on my channel and fact check that. Or maybe one of you guys knows in the comments, let me know. But I do it when I can. I look forward to it every year. It's probably my favorite part of Christmas. Except for, of course, now Christmas is all about making the same magic that I had as a kid, but with my own daughter. And instead of just having it be magical because of the presents, it's also magical because of the memories that we can make. I'm trying to do things with her, like going to the shopping thing so she can buy presents for us, and going to the vegan cookie decorating thing and baking cookies with her, and decorating the tree. Just really, I'm trying to include her and make it magical this year. And experiencing Santa with her and just all of those things is just like my favorite part, of course. But my second favorite part is being able to buy presents for families who need it and being part of their Christmas too, in my own distant way. So I highly encourage it. It feels so good. It feels so much better. And I know Toys for Tots and like stuff like that is important, where you can like just drop off toys in a donation box. And I know that that's really important, but there's just nothing better to me than like buying the presents, wrapping them, and handing them off to a mom that you know needed help enough to ask, you know? Because as a mom, I know it takes a lot of sucking up your pride to ask for help. It's hard. It's not easy to be like, you know what, I can't do this alone. And so the fact that somebody is open enough and willing enough to be like, I'm gonna reach out for help, I'm happy to reach out my hand back and pull them up if that's what needs to happen. So it's my honor, it's my privilege, it's my pleasure. I'm happy to do it. But I love about Christmas now, I just love decorating the tree. I love everything about Christmas. It's my favorite time of the year. And it makes me so sad that some people have negative memories or connotations connected to Christmas and the season, because I'm in love with Christmas. It's magic to me. The Christmas spirit is real. And so it makes me so sad that some people don't feel that way, although I understand. But I'm actually getting pretty close now, so I'm going to cut the video off because I want to, of course, like protect privacy and things like that. So now that I'm several minutes away, I'm just going to cut it here, but I will film another video on my way back. But if you did enjoy this video, remember to give it a like. Thank you for watching all the way through. I'm so close to being monetized on this channel, and you watching my videos all the way through really, really helps. Likes and comments help too. But I will talk to you again very soon, bestie. I promise. Bye.